Hey guys, it's Karrie and I am back with a chat video. I've got Coco in my lap. She is trying to go to sleep right now and she can't get comfortable, but she has joined me for this video. Chanel is on the couch snoozing away. I may grab her towards the end of the video. I'm gonna let her sleep right now. So I wanted to kind of share with you what has been going on this past week. It's been a little bit of a drama-filled week. Not terrible for me, but I just wanted to share it with you. And in the last chat video, for whatever reason, I was telling you all about the plans for my channel and what I was planning on uploading, but I think I forgot to share when I was planning on uploading. Anyway, I am planning on doing fashion-related content Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and I usually try to upload at 7 a.m. Central Time. I don't know why I ever chose that time in the past, but I just did and kind of have stuck with it. I know some people like to do 5 p.m. Whatever country or wherever they are at, 5 p.m. in the evenings, but I don't know what's good time, what's not. The chat that I'm sitting down right now with you guys, these will go up on a Saturday or Sunday whenever I do them, and it can be any time during the day. It could be in the morning, around lunchtime, or it could be towards the evening. Just depends on when I get done filming, because I spend Saturday and Sunday doing some Instagram photos. I have definitely upped my game on Instagram, trying to do a photo a day. And so I spend like the mornings on Saturday and Sunday taking Instagram photos, and then I can film a video a little bit later. So that's kind of what's going on in my mind. Well, this past week, my uploading schedule got messed up because of what happened Sunday night or Sunday evening. It was about 5 o'clock in Nashville. So the TV was on about 4:30. I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it, but I kept hearing the emergency alert going off for weather-related stuff. And I was hearing a little bit, and they were naming counties, and I'm like, did they say Davidson? And so I went back to where the TV is, and I just sat down and started watching it. And I did finally hear them mention Davidson County. That's where Nashville is located. And they mentioned a specific area in Nashville, and they said Forest Hills. I don't live in Forest Hills, can't afford to live in Forest Hills, and it's not really that close to me. And I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna worry about it. That's on over somewhere else. I don't know what that was. And so I was like, I'm just gonna change the channel and watch something I had recorded on the DVR. Well, now we're about 5 o'clock, maybe a few minutes after. All of a sudden, I hear this bang, and that is the best I can do to describe what the noise was. It was just a boom, a bang. I don't know what it was. I think it might have been a transformer blowing, because as soon as that happened, the electricity went off. So I get up, I come in and walk into this room that I'm filming in now, look out the window, and I said to myself, oh my goodness, I gotta grab the girls and get downstairs. I think it's a tornado, and I hate saying the T word. It was bad. I couldn't see. The rain was coming down so hard. The wind was blowing. You literally couldn't see hardly anything out of the window. Well, got downstairs, kind of tried to hunker down, and then every so often I would look out the window to see if it was still happening. Probably a really stupid thing to do, but I did it. And then when it finally died down, came back upstairs, looked out, and oh my goodness, people. There were limbs and branches all in the yard. The driveway was covered in them. One of them got actually very close to hitting the house. I looked across the street. One of my neighbors had half of their tree down in the front yard. Later on, I went out walking around after it all had stopped and passed, and neighbor at the end of the street had 2 trees that about a fourth, I would say, of each tree was down in the yard. It was a huge mess. And I was like, we had a massive storm. And so I saw on Facebook or something, or the news channel, it was on my phone because power was still out, and the storm was called a derecho. I think I just butchered how that was pronounced, but I will put the name on the screen so you guys can see the name of the storm. And I literally have never heard of this storm before. And the way it was being described was it can have almost hurricane-like winds or tornado activity, but it's like thunderstorms mixed with straight line winds that is on a huge wide scale basis, where it says it can do more moderate damage on a greater scale than a tornado can do, because a tornado is going to do a whole lot of damage, but it's on a more concentrated scale. This D word, however you pronounce it, has a much wider path, and while the winds may not be as strong as a tornado, it just covers and does more moderate damage, is the way whatever website I looked up described it. So that was Sunday night. Power's out. I finally just say, I'm going to bed, forget it, I can't do anything about it. Get up Monday morning, power's still out, and it finally came on about 9:30, and let me tell you guys, I was so thankful. But I couldn't upload a video because I had it edited, it was ready to go, but I couldn't get it uploaded. I would have had to have gone somewhere else to try to find Wi-Fi. I'm like, you know what? This does not matter whatsoever. So I'm looking out the window right now, and I've got a story to tell you about these birds in my front yard. And one of them was affected by the storm, and I literally cried over it. But let me finish the power part of this, the electricity part, then I'll get back to the birds. So I found out from I got two neighbors across the street that I communicate with every so often. Neighbors beside me, all three of these houses did not have power until Friday. At least I think they got it back on Friday, because I got it back on Monday at 9:30 a.m. and none of these people got power back. The neighbor directly beside me, the house behind them, there's like a little, a little bit of a separation in the yards, and they're actually on another street. But one of the people on the street behind my neighbors, the tree in their backyard fell on power lines and took the lines down that go to my neighbor's house. So they had no power the entire week. Well, about 11:30-ish Friday morning, right before noon, I see electric company trucks pull up, and literally it was like 11:57, power goes out, and I went, no! I found out they had to shut the power off so they could fix all of this and restore it to my neighbors, which, okay, I'm okay with, not a big deal whatsoever. Unfortunately, it stayed out 4.5 hours on Friday, but finally got it back on, and then it went off again at 10 p.m. Friday night, and it only stayed off about 10 minutes, but fingers crossed that everybody has had power restored. I think citywide, right after the storm happened, it was like over 100,000. They might have even said 130,000 plus people, and that's not just people, that is homes, did not have power. Major storm. So again, I had never experienced anything like that in my life, and I usually, if I'm in I don't want to drive in a storm, but usually if I'm in my house, they typically don't bother me that much. I'm super thankful. There was no damage done whatsoever. Did lose one piece of property that belonged to Coco and Chanel. Last year for their birthday, I got a puppy swimming pool. And I got those plastic balls that you make put in a ball pit, and I made them a ball pit. They didn't really like it, but completely lost the swimming pool. I don't know where it went. It blew off the back porch and is gone. Can't find it anywhere, and there were balls all over the yard. There were balls in the neighbor's yard, so yeah, that happened. So back to this bird story, and I don't even know if you guys are interested or not, but this whole thing broke my heart, and I boo-hooed over this. So ever since I've been in self-isolation, I've been doing a little bit of bird watching because why not, right? So there's, I think it's a family of birds. They're robins, American robins, and the bigger ones, the adults, look just alike. And look, if you Google American robin, that's what they look like. Well, there's these two other ones that are a little bit smaller. They have the same colors, but they have spots on them. And I'm like, I still don't know if the spots are normal and they will go away as the bird ages. I'm not sure, but two little ones that same coloring but with spots on them, and then these two adult size birds are in the front yard, and I've just been watching them fly around. And so Monday after the storm, I see one of the smaller ones, and I would say it's a juvenile bird. It's not a baby because it's not in a nest, but it's smaller. It's kind of like, it's out in the yard and you can tell something's wrong with it, and finally it moves and I can see it's got a broken right foot. And how, you know, a bird's kind of foot kind of is like this. Well, his foot was turned around backwards like that. That's a terrible representation, but while his feet should be out front, they were curved back and he couldn't put his foot down, or she couldn't put her foot down. I see this and I start crying because I can't help it. I am extremely sensitive to animals and hurt animals. I'm gonna cry. So I Googled on my phone because I don't have power. I still didn't have power at that time. And I'm like, what can you do for an injured bird? And it said, carefully pick the bird up, put it in a box, and put a towel over it. So I went and found a box, got a towel, and then I go, okay, where did the bird go? So I found it in the yard, and I was gonna try to go grab it. It crawls under a fence, or kind of hopped under a fence on one leg. And so I went back around, found it. It's leaning up against the fence. The poor bird just looks pitiful. And as I go, I have my towel in my hand. As I go to try to grab the bird, poor thing is scared to death. It decides it can fly at this point, and it flew on top of the fence, and I can't reach the bird. And at this point, I'm going, I think I'm doing more harm to this bird trying to catch it because it is stressing it out. It's already injured. And I just like, you know what? Since it was able to fly, its wings are not injured, I'm just gonna back off and let nature take its course. I was not a happy camper, but you know, I had to do that. So fast forward a couple of days and I see the family of birds back in the front yard, and this little bird is doing really well. Unfortunately, its foot still seems to be broken, but it is hopping around on its left leg, it is flying, and it seems to be doing really well. So I'm very thankful for that, and I'm just still watching it. And the one that matches it, that's probably a sibling to it, they're kind of out there together. And when the bigger birds fly in, the little birds kind of do this, and I think they're still asking for food, because I read during the midst of all of this, trying to figure out what you can do, is that when they're out of the nest, when the baby birds get out of the nest, the parents will still feed them even though they're no longer in the nest until they're able to feed themselves. So I think that's what was going on. I'm not a bird expert by any stretch of the imagination, but anyway, this has been my week. And other than that, everything is going well. I'm going to film a couple of haul videos today. They will go up within the next couple, 2-3 weeks. There's going to be an anthropology haul. There's going to be like a collective haul of other things. I've ordered some H&M stuff and it has not arrived yet. And I have heard that H&M is sending stuff that you didn't order. And I'm worried about that. Well, not super worried, but I really want what I ordered, and I'm hoping I get that stuff, but we shall see. I will let you know when the stuff comes in, if it comes in. Then I just got an email that Anthropology is doing another 30% off, because I got the stuff 30% off last time. So I might have to order some other stuff. I don't need it, but I am enjoying Anthropology stuff right now. It is so cute. I love the stuff that I have. And anyway, I hope you guys enjoy the haul videos that are coming up. I've got like a handbag review video come up, just different fashion content related. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Coco has gone to sleep. Chanel's asleep, so I'm not going to bother her this time, but you saw Coco and they look just alike. So thank you guys for watching so much. Bye-bye, everybody.